Welcome to the Midnight's Edge Holiday Special. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, where you is. I'm Tom Connors. Joining me, as always, is the boss man, Andre. Greetings and happy holidays, sir.
Greetings, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, God Jul, Christos Rodio, Feliz Navidad, and all of that.
Well, screw you too.
I was just going to say ditto, but
That's what it sounded like. He's like, screw you.
Oh yeah, and we also got Script Doctor joining us.
yes, Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Holidays. Thanks for having me this morning.
Absolutely, and everyone, thanks for joining us for this slightly earlier than usual holiday special. So thank you everyone for joining us. Feel free to share out the link and let everyone know that we are actually live right now, and that would be most welcome.
Indeed. So yes, hopefully everybody's had a great holiday so far. Mine's been pretty uneventful. I can't speak too much, but Andre, I know you got little ones and stuff. How did the holidays go at your house?
Oh, excellent! Because we celebrate Yule, to be more specific. Of course, in English, it's translated Christmas, but it's not entirely accurate. And that's actually yesterday. So we celebrate on the eve of the 24th. To us, that is Christmas, which is the same reason why I couldn't be in the James Bond stream right now, because we were like in the middle of Christmas dinner as that went down. But yeah, no, that went all good and well. And today is Christmas Day everywhere else, whereas here is Friday and a bank holiday. So yeah, good times.
Absolutely. And Script, how's your holiday been so far?
I mean, not the idealist one that we all wanted, but we managed to get a lot of people together on a Zoom call and share our missings of everybody and any stories that we could, and got to talk to my godchildren. Granted, most of them are all teenagers, and a couple of them are some young adults now, but that was all sweet. And yeah, it was the best we could do under the circumstances, and I hope a lot of other people were able to pull off something similar so that they could at least enjoy this time, given all the weirdness that the 2020 has been for us.
Indeed. Did you get any good gifts this year, Script?
Well, I got a couple of books I really wanted, so that was good. Yeah, that's about it. I'm not too big on the gifts. I pretty much have all the material things I really want and enjoy. The best gifts I have are being able to, make new friendships and like meeting you guys and meeting a lot of the people in the chat and talking to my friends and family. Like that's like the gift I need, and I'm good.
So nobody got you a Mogwai?
No one got me a
Damn shame.
Yeah.
Damn shame. Andre, did you get anything for Christmas? Anything good from the kids or anything like that?
Yeah, I got some nice soft packages, some clothes, some socks, some nice certificates for the local sauna and good stuff like that. So yeah, but it's fine because right now it's more about the kids and them having fun and getting toys and everything. So when South Park said that let's remember what Christmas is all about, presents and toys for kids, and there's absolutely something to that. It's like important to have like the important memories and everything.
Well, I got myself a gift from my kid for myself. I got myself a dad gift since he wouldn't do it. I just went and got myself a wallet.
Oh, that's nice.
It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it.
Awesome.
I'm not even kidding. I got myself a bad motherfucker wallet. I saw that shit and I'm like, hell's yeah.
Yeah, the best presents are the ones you get for yourself, because that way you get exactly what you want.
It's actually licensed and everything. It came with a fake ID of Jules, Samuel Jackson's character. It's really cool, actually. It wasn't even that expensive. It was only like $20.
Awesome.
That's a great deal.
And
real weather too, I think.
Max Mercer had the question, Andre, were there any Aurora Borealis displays in the sky last night? I didn't notice any over Oslo. We rarely get Aurora Borealis as far south as over Oslo, although it has been known to happen. But I didn't notice any last night. But I didn't look up much, so who knows? So yeah, just to answer that. And yeah, we got quite the international crowd watching. I saw that we had people watching from South Africa and from a little bit from Mexico. That's where James Esparzo will not let any virus keep his family apart. So yeah, good times, and great to see that we have big international crowd going here.
Yeah, well, I figured we would, and America is doing a lot of the Christmas morning stuff, so I wasn't sure how much of an American crowd we get in the morning, but so far we got quite a few of you out there. We're going to take some questions from you guys. We don't really have any set topics this morning, I don't think, unless Andre's got something up his sleeve that I don't know about.
No, I haven't got anything particular. Hollywood is kind of like taking a Christmas break right now, including all the news studios and stuff.
So they've gone from quarantining themselves to quarantining themselves.
Exactly, and WonderWoman 84 isn't out for half an hour or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So most people haven't quite seen it yet. So yeah, we're just going to do like a relaxed show, and we can maybe answer some of your questions. So if you have any kind of questions for us of any kind whatsoever, then absolutely go for it. Shoot, this is your chance. And I see we have more and more people. We have Poke from Slovenia, and I saw we had someone from Brazil who disappeared from the screen, so I don't see exactly who. We have Gridania from Canada, and even K. John from upstate New York. So yeah, awesome, very awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys filing in here from all over the place. It's always nice to see so many different faces, or at least people from so many different places, I should say. We don't really get to see your faces. That's the weird thing. But your little icons are like your faces. That's why it throws me off when you guys change them. It's like, wait a minute, I know that person. Like Red Syrup. I know that person. I know that icon. Now, if he changes that icon, it'll throw me off.
Yeah, because you think he's just another guy or a person with another Red Syrup.
There's a stranger in our chat.
And the UK, which is sadly stuck in another lockdown, also represents. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Doug35 is a big fan of our interview that we had with Alan Dean Foster the other day. So everyone, be sure to check that out if you haven't already. We'll be releasing some clips of it. But yeah.
Now, Coffee Lover talks about some great 4K titles that came out. I got to say something about Total Recall that nobody's talking about. It was brought to my attention, and it is very clear that they fucked something up in the sound mix on the new Blu-ray.
God, I hate it when they do that.
Evidently, it's like the bass track is completely gone. If you're watching it in the Dolby Atmos track, because if you switch over to the French 5.1, you can clearly hear the difference. Like just in the opening, like music.
Is it just in the Dolby Atmos track?
Yeah, but there's no other. There's 2.0 English. But I don't care. The whole point of this, one big point of this, is it was getting a big major upgrade, and Dolby Atmos was a part of that. So it's like, yeah, I think they better fix that, but I doubt they will. Studio Canal don't fix shit. So
yeah, no. Oh, brilliant.
They're the ones who snafu'd T2 and never fixed it either.
So basically, how about the earlier Studio Canal Blu-ray? Is that
it looks like
Total Recall? Yeah, but how is the sound on that one?
I think that one has a 5.1 DTS mix.
And that one is working without snafus?
Probably. I haven't checked it, but so the person who brought it up to my attention was actually, I don't know, I'm not going to say their name because they're actually semi-famous. But anyway, I was just like, oh, weird, because I heard somebody talk about how great it sounded. And sure shit, I went and checked it just like they told me to. And you can tell, like, there's absolutely no sound coming from the subwoofer at all. Like, yeah, it's like they completely forgot to have that track there. That's all it's missing. Because like I said, you flip over to the French track and you can hear the boom, 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 in the beginning of the music, and stuff. You don't hear any of that, like that boost, that boom at all. There's no boom, in the words of Tom.
In other words, Total Recall on 4K is a total bust.
They need to totally recall it. So I'm curious to see if Tim, our friend over at the Digital Bits, is going to bring that up in his review. Mr. Tickle Trunk sent us a super sticker, Andre.
Oh, thank you.
It is a little Sheba pooping hearts.
Oh, that's
farting hearts.
Yeah, that's so nice with some.
And Buck Nasty coming in with a Buck Nasty name, saying Merry Christmas to y'all.
Yeah,
I like that.
So yeah. And Tebios Tobak says WonderWoman 84 in 25 minutes. Yeah, but then you have 25 minutes here. And if you want to ask us something, now is the time for it.
Yeah.
But let's get started off. Scripts. Is there anything that you always wanted to know about us or Midnight's Edge?
That I haven't learned already,
or that you wish that you had
more
learned?
Than he wants to know. He's probably seen me naked already. And
when you guys did Tom's birthday celebration, I asked like all the questions that that were that I wanted to. But that's a good one. Like asking me a question, ask you a question. I like that. Yeah. Let's see. Well, maybe I can ask something a little familiar that some new people in the chat don't quite know. And it's a story that I liked, which is, Andre, how did you come up with the Midnight's Edge and wanting to do this?
Well, actually, it started back in April of 2015, because at the time I was in my day job working in banking and finance, which was pretty good and all. It paid the bills, but I wasn't very creatively fulfilled from it. It was just a job. At the same time, you had like all of the new batch of celebrities and everything, all the it crowd. They were all on YouTube and on Twitter and on social media, and I kind of felt left out. I felt that the world was kind of like that I was like left by the wayside, and I was old beyond my years. And then I decided that I wanted to try to do something to get with the times a little bit. At the same time that I wasn't creatively fulfilled, because I didn't get to talk with anyone about like all the stuff that I like about comics and movies and these kind of things. I wasted loads of times on like various online message boards, like the IMDb boards, writing the same walls of texts over and over again, because they would like disappear from the board in a couple of days unless you do necrobumping and stuff. And then at one point, after I had gone to bed, and I don't remember the exact date, but it was one evening in April of 2015, that all of these thoughts were swirling in my mind at the same time. And then suddenly, the conclusion of all of them kind of like clicked, that I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And over the next 30 seconds after that idea had hit, then I had kind of like the basic gist for what the channel could be about, how it could start out with like covering the darker side of comics, because no one was like really doing that at the time. And then we could, from there, move into like behind the scenes stuff on movies like Punisher, Warzone, and what was going on with Daredevil and stuff like that, plus like some of the big things, because Avengers Age of Ultron was about to open, and it would actually open earlier in Norway, so I would be able to see it and could like review it on YouTube before most US-based YouTubers. So I was like thinking, hey, good timing, have to like get moving on this. And then the very next day, I contacted my friend who was based in the US, Kevin, and I let him in on the plans, and we spitballed some ideas back and forth. And over the course of that conversation, Midnight's Edge was essentially born. And then not 2 weeks later, the first video went live. So that was the very humble beginning. And to begin with, we were all about comics and stuff. Of course, that didn't last long. Like 2 weeks after that again was when we did the first Josh Trank's Fantastic Four video that kind of like set us on the current path. So, yeah, good times. And then we have another question here from Tim Hayes, who wonders, do they have drive-in theaters in Norway? Not as such, no. They did try some earlier this year. But this was at the same time that there weren't any movies playing, so I think they closed them down. As of right now, I am not familiar with there being any drive-in theaters here. I don't think there are. And Alpha Omega Records sent us a £5 super chat saying, Hanukkah finished on 18th of December. Thank you very much. And Script, you need to patent your cute giggle at the end of each sentence. Aww.
Well, as long as it's cuter than Seth Rogen's.
Somebody's got an admirer. The founder 865 sends in that's £2, correct? Yep. When will Star Trek Discovery episode 10 and 11 review be? Well, didn't we do the episode 10 already?
Yeah, we did the one from last week, so that's already up on Midnight's Edge Live archives. The only one that we haven't reviewed yet is the one that aired yesterday, and God, we have to do that, don't we?
Unfortunately, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So soon, founder. We'll let you know when we can. Stephen Otten sends in $5. Merry Christmas to everyone at Midnight's Edge. Thank you for making 2020 more bearable. Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for being there and being a supporter of the channel. You make a big difference here, just like all of you listening. You're the reason we're here. So if it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do this. Thank you so much. Cedric Taylor says, you cannot reboot any of Arnold's movies. It just doesn't work. Yeah, they were talking about Total Recall in the chat.
Yeah. No. I will say with an asterisk there, because here's like the thing. I agree that you cannot reboot a movie that was an Arnold vehicle.
Yeah.
That starred him and that was built around him. Like you can't reboot Terminator because that was kind of like built around him. You can't reboot True Lies. You'll have a hard time rebooting Total Recall. But on Conan, I will say that's an exception. The reason is very, very simple. Conan had actually gone very, very strong for 50 years already before there was a movie. Before there was a movie, you had Conan domineering the pulp magazines in the 1930s. Then he completely dominated paperback sales from the 1950s up until like the 80s, and he dominated comic book sales from 1970s onwards. And then came the movie. Now, I disagree completely that movie, which took things in a completely different direction, was so fantastic and so unique that usurped 80 years of Conan, or 50 years of Conan before. There is ample room to do it again in another direction. They just did it wrong in the 2011 movie.
Yeah, I mean, even though True Lies was technically a remake itself, but yeah, no, I agree with Andre. You can't really, Conan's a different animal, but the rest of the stuff you'd have a hard time without Arnold redoing it. He is such a strong force in his films.
Yeah, absolutely. And Roger Haynes says, Merry Christmas all. Midnight's Edge in the morning kept me going this year when I got lonely working from home in isolation. Appreciate all you do. Keep up the amazing work and Happy New Year. Well, thank you.
Happy New Year and happy holidays to you.
I really appreciate hearing that. And Script, you got the question. From Vincinger G, who says, I got the question for Script Doctor. Ever considered doing anime reviews in your personal channel?
I have considered it because there are a couple of anime shows that I do enjoy. With my schedule and the things I need to do, it's going to be a little tricky to work those in because, I mean, anime is more of a casual interest. I'm not the biggest hardcore fan like some great people here on YouTube, but I may in the future dabble in that. I'm not going to spoil what anime I'm going to talk about, so that will keep you waiting. But yeah, eventually I might. My channel is sort of like a casual thing. I do it when time allows, like given the lockdown situations and Mandalorian and Star Trek Discovery and Lower Decks, I was able to get those out. But I'm also actually writing my original work and also doing my day job. So things will be a little few and far between here and there at times. But yeah, in the future, I think I might be doing something like that. So stay tuned, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool Hand wants to know any thoughts on the remake of The Stand. I know Andre hasn't watched it yet. I haven't seen the newest episode, but judging from Robert Meyer Burnett's reaction, I saw the first one. I don't think I'm going to like it any more than he has. What about you, Script? Have you been catching up on it at all?
No, I was planning on watching some of it yesterday, but I lost the vote on that. And I'm kind of thankful for it because, again, I've been hearing a few things from some of my friends in the industry that are like, what's going on here? And then what Mr. Burnett said yesterday as well, it kind of threw me off. And then your take on when the pilot or the first episode dropped is like, wow, why are they doing a flashback narrative? That's just weird.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint so far. I haven't seen Amber Heard in it yet. I mean, outside of that, the casting's been okay, but yeah. Numero Perdido, if I'm saying that right, says wants to know if we can get a Dredd documentary like we did for Conan. He wants me dead.
Well, I am very, very sorry, Tom, to report that Numero Perdido will actually get his wish. There will be a Dredd Ultimate retrospective at some point like that, coming as soon as resources permit. It's something that I really, really want to do, going into the history between, for instance, RoboCop and Judge Dredd. So yeah, that is coming. So just brace yourself, I should say, Tom. And before then, you have a Sodder retrospective coming your way. So yeah, good times.
We got Rob in the chat. He says, Mecca made me watch it and it's terrible. She says, hi, by the way. Well, hello, Rob. Hope you're doing well. He's been dealing with some stuff at home. So hopefully he's doing well. Other than that, there was a couple other good questions here. I saw that we passed. Let's see here. Where did it go?
Yeah, that's the problem with the chat. Everything is like
goes so fast and it jumps. Yeah. They really need to fix that.
Yeah, I know.
While we're waiting for that reboot of Last Action Hero, I don't know about a reboot. A sequel would be fun. That looks like I lost it wherever it went. All right.
Did Kieran come back to do it though?
He's out of jail now.
If you had a good question that we missed, then repost it. Is what Tom is saying.
Sorry, that was the only script and I evidently got. Tiberius Monk sent $5. Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you so much, Tiberius Monk. You've also been a great supporter of the channel. Take this time to be grateful for the good things. Health, shelter, friends, family. Don't forget John McClane is Santa. Speaking of John McClane. And Die Hard is a Christmas movie now, according to him. He got browbeat finally into admitting it. Cedric Taylor says, what happened to the Nick Star Trek cartoon? Oh, it's still coming. It's still coming.
Yeah, that's fully funded, so it's being made, and I honestly don't know when it's coming, but it is.
Well, that's under Nickelodeon's. But we heard interesting news. I'm not going to say who, because I brought this up on Nerdrotic earlier too, but basically Kurtzman's not really show running this season of STD. There's somebody else who's been kind of handling the reins, kind of going along with some of our reporting. But
you mean this season right now, or
that's up on that's playing right now? We when we reported it, back
that's Michelle Paradise.
No, not Michelle Paradise either. Remember,
another person. Yeah,
oh right,
another completely different. Oh, that's right. You weren't there, part of this conversation. I totally forgot about that. Script knows what I'm talking about.
I do. We'll keep it close to the chest for
now.
We're
not going to say anything more than that right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we were kind of right about that. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
This name should be in the producer credits, though, is it not? Script or consultant credit? I think he got out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to do with the fact that I guess Kurtzman's putting his priorities to the Clarice show, which is going to
That's what
really, really, it's going to make a mark. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's good. Is it good that he gets himself so closely associated with it?
Not for the Clarice potential of the franchise, but I mean, again, he's got a pretty useful position being the head of Secret Hideout. So every show that company puts into production, he can travel from one to the other, and I think he's got a number of shows happening at the same time now. So that's
that was the excuse given, was that, oh, I've got 7 shows I'm dealing with. Could you help me out here?
yeah, that's well, I mean,
Yeah, when nobody's doing anything right now. But anyway,
this actually goes
no,
into
this was actually months ago, like at the beginning
yeah,
of the season. So
but this goes back into the what I was talking about with regards to people wanting Jon Favreau to take care over Disney Lucasfilm. He would, if that were the case, he would be in a Kurtzman-like position where he just cannot stay on a show. He'd have to be managing and bouncing between everything. And I mean, for Favreau, who's far more talented and far more skillful, that would be detrimental to any of the projects that's under Disney Star Wars. And we would see something similar to that stress and that lack of passion in the work that we're getting with Alex Kurtzman. So that's kind of why you don't want to put a creative in a managerial position like that. Prior to all these other shows, Alex Kurtzman was able to be involved in 1 or 2 shows and able to balance that. And we saw how terrible those qualities were, but that's for different reasons. And now, if his time is being, say, occupied with other things, and he doesn't have the right crew in place to get those jobs done, it's going to suffer more so. And this season of Star Trek Discovery is really suffering. It's very bad, worse than the previous 2, which is saying a lot.
This is actually something that we reported on. That what we had heard was that this season was a dumpster fire that would make the other seasons look good. Now, I don't necessarily know about that, but
basically, no. Like what we were told is regardless of all the hooey of I've got too many shows to work on, blah 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 blah. The basic thing that stuck out to me was Kurtzman, according to the story I was heard, was basically saying he couldn't crack this season and he needed help. He couldn't figure the season out. That was kind of what stuck out to me in the whole kind of thing. So, like, he destroyed it, basically.
And
he
it shows
wrote himself into a corner or what have you, and yeah.
Yeah, it shows because they're trying to repeat that structural formula of the first 2 seasons, but they just don't have any content to nail it. Like their entire story with the burn, and in the recent episode, how that comes to fruition is silly, magical.
I was spoiled there. I was spoiled for exactly what caused the burn, and I couldn't believe it. Like, can they be this dumb? And then I was like, what am I talking about? Of course they can be. Like, on that particular show, it doesn't matter how bad you expect it to be, they'll somehow always find a way to deliver even worse.
Yeah, it's the most fascinating thing to see from a writer's perspective. It's like, there has to have been someone in the room that at least said, is this the best way we can do this? And I think it came down to time. I think they did not have the time to write this season. I would not be surprised if after they finished during the second season, they all thought they were going to be canceled or moved on to other projects and just gave up and didn't start prepping. And then when they were told that they have to do a season 3, they panicked and just gave us what we have now. It's really weird, and I'm really hoping that since the production for season 4 has been delayed due to the lockdowns, that they're taking this time to go over those scripts and try and make them better so that they're not as terrible as season 3. But I mean, that's like asking for pigs to grow wings and start flying. It's
yeah, isn't it? Script, I have a question about that. If someone has on their resume when they're looking for their next job was writer on Star Trek Discovery, is that a plus, a minus, or completely neutral?
That would be a big eyebrow raise. I think it wouldn't hurt their resume, but it'd definitely get them a conversation. It's like, how are you able to hold on to your job for that long?
Yeah, because surely no one in the industry can think that this is good writing in any way, shape, or form.
Only I would say a very small circle of people that actually like the content and the approach.
The ideologues, you mean?
And the ideologues, yeah, I would say only them. I mean, you pick a random producer that has made millions upon millions of dollars in television or through film, and they look at that resume saying you wrote on Star Trek Discovery, and they know the numbers, they would immediately just say nope, bye, or we're not going there. I mean, they don't really look at the resumes, but usually like the agent or the manager would pitch them and say, hey, yeah, this writer, they worked on Star Trek Discovery, in which case you get a phone click on the other end. And I don't think any agent or manager would be bragging about their clients doing that. They'd probably just highlight the better shows as opposed to the most recent ones. That we never highlight the most recent ones because
so for many of them they would highlight their so for many it would be like that they would highlight their CW work instead.
CW work, The Crown, Gilmore Girls, all the dramas, and I think it would probably be in their best interest for their representation to be marketing them for shows in that reign and not into the sci-fi genre, because they clearly do not have any understanding of what that genre is and how it works.
You're just an istophobe. That's all it is.
Sure, I am an anti-sci-fi istophobe.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Bob the Snow Dog has a question for you here, Andre.
Yeah, he says, holy smokes, is it Tromsø in the background? You know what? It could very well be.
I think it is.
I think it is. I believe Tom is the one that possibly found that.
I just typed in Norwegian winter background and this popped up.
Yeah, I do believe that is Tromsø. So, yeah.
So ask Google, I guess.
Yeah.
And then this was a good one. Overlord Clay Tablet. Clay Tablet. There we go.
Yeah.
Die Hard Lesbo remake thoughts. Yeah, this is something we haven't really talked about yet, is it, Andre?
That's gonna be the Christmas movie for 2023 or something, won't it?
What actress was it that was going out there and talking about this? Now, again, to preface this is not a thing, at least not yet. This was just some actress saying that she'd like to do this.
Charlize Theron?
Was it? Yeah, it was Charlize Theron who was coming out and saying, I want to do a Lesbo Die Hard remake. I want to believe she was being fucking sarcastic, but probably not.
Well, here's the thing. If you can remove the ideology and just make it an actual love story and an action thriller, it could work, but you got to have the main character not be a physical force, but a very cunning one. Almost like a Home Alone to a point.
Don't want it.
You know what? I'm going to say the same thing that I said about like this unrequited lesbian love in Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. Like, if you're going to go for it, then go all the way. Like, if you're going to make it like a lesbo film, then do it proper with everything that entails, with the
scissoring,
love scenes and scissoring and the whole shebang.
Put some karate in it so Rob will watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And
he'll watch it with just the scissoring, I suppose. So.
Yeah, he'll probably watch that in 4K. But yeah,
I would buy a 4K TV for that. Yes.
Yeah, but no. What I'm also talking, like, if it's for instance with like Star Trek Discovery, talking, oh look, we are so progressive and all that. And like, if you want to do it proper, then do it proper. You want to shock and make headlines and everything. Well, the original series had like the first interracial kiss. Now we have had plenty LGBTQ plus whatever it is kisses before then. So if they really wanted to up the notch, they should have done so in Star Trek Discovery, and they didn't, which I think is like a wasted opportunity. So
leave it alone. Yeah. Do your own thing. Make something new. Leslie the lesbian who saves the city. There you go.
It's strange how so many people have forgot the movie Kill Bill, which was about a very strong assassin woman who kicked a lot of butt, including other female assassins.
I never forget.
Had a compelling story with where she lost her child and wanted revenge. I mean, those were all. That was a great movie, and I don't remember anyone complaining or finding it unbelievable for Uma Thurman to do what she did. They seem to have found the right tone and style and execution to get us to buy into the concept. Where's that effort with these other these other stories.
I mean, I don't forget about Kill Bill, and there's only a few people I've ever met who didn't like it, and I don't talk to them anymore. So,
yeah, there you go. Pick your friends.
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
Yeah.
Pokemaniac Sharon says, so there might be a theatrical only release of Dune after all. I know we discussed this a little bit, Andre, but I know that's one of your favorite things to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if going by the headlines, there might. I think that the jury is still out on that one. I honestly don't know how things are going to play out there, because what I imagine, I don't know this, but my guess would be that Legendary has decided that no, Dune has to be in theaters. And now Warner's, as distributor, you are fully within your rights to put it in HBO Max right away with theaters. But if you do, then we are going to take Dune and everything else of our business elsewhere from here on out. And that they might have to basically decide to do like a hard gamble like that, and that way maybe they got Warner to yield on that. Maybe that's what happened, but I think we'll see how the world looks like in the next 6 months or so, and then we'll see what happens, because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think no one else does either. I think that with the vaccine now in the process of being distributed, then Legendary is probably thinking, yeah, but what if things are back to how they were in 6 months from now? If they are, then we want a theatrical release. But then again, what if they're not? So I wouldn't bet on it getting a theatrical only release just yet. We'll see.
And then the chat jumped on me, so I lost a bunch of shit here. But sent us $4.99, unless you want to say that, Andre.
Sent us $4.99, and Tom can take it from there.
Says, hi, gents. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. And he sent me the Christmas tree I didn't put up this year. Matt G sent in $5. Says, so the only comic book movie Disney put out this year was New Mutants. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, wait a minute. How much did that make compared to Blue? No, just kidding. Because, Birds of Prey is the number one comic book movie of the year. They keep boasting about.
What, financially?
Yeah. Financially,
not in quality. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. No, in quality, I think I haven't seen New Mutants, and I never will. But I think that just judging from the one that did come out this year, and knowing that New Mutants was the other, then yeah, technically from a box office point of view, Birds of Prey was the winner by default, I would say, because that's literally what's true. It was the winner in a class of one.
Yeah. Well, not just that. Well, I mean, there was a few other ones, but no, that's exactly it. Like we kept saying, it's like you're proud to be the tallest midget. I mean, that's about it, I guess. I don't know.
Or you're like you're a UFC fighter going up against a bunch of grade schoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's true. Like Marvel released the one movie that Fox made, and that they've just been pushing back, and then they just had to dump it at some point, and it was now. So yeah, it's ironic. Mm-hmm. I think that honestly, I don't know if they would have been any better off releasing Black Widow and what's the other one, Eternals, or
the Eternals.
I don't even know if Eternals is ready yet, is it?
Oh, it is. It should. Yeah, I think it's ready. I mean, it should have been released in November.
We don't even have a trailer yet.
But yeah, who knows what they're doing?
No, of course we didn't get a trailer, because the first trailer was supposed to debut with Black Widow.
With Black Widow in the summer, right?
Yeah, but Black Widow got pushed back, and then same thing with Eternals. But I don't know if they actually did themselves any favors with that, if anyone cares about those movies, if they're good movies. We shall see. I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Robert Montoya. says, Merry Christmas. You and other Phantom Menace members have helped cheer me up. Keep it up. Any predictions for 2021 and the industry, Star Wars, Trek? Thank you so much for the kind words. My prediction is they're going to suck. They're all going to suck.
Don't expect a season 4 Discovery in 2021. Probably 2022, maybe.
Yeah, they haven't even started filming it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that the only cool thing that's going to come on the star front is the Mandalorian. That's the only cool thing that's going to come with the title star in it. Yeah, the Boba Fett series. Other than that, I think that 2021 is going to be a very boring year for things with star in the title.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm curious if we'll even get Mandalorian until the beginning of next year now. We'll see. Lars Hansen sends in 200 Danish krona, I think that is.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
What is the status on Kathleen Kennedy? Is she on her way out, or is she still sitting solidly in power at Lucasfilm? Her contract expires next year, as far as I remember. And Merry Christmas to you and all who follow Midnight's Edge. Well, Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's our understanding that her contract is supposed to be up on the 1st, but don't be surprised if it gets renewed, especially after the way things have been going in the last year or two here. As far as power, I think that if you watch the interviews with Favreau lately, you can kind of see where a lot of the power is lying in that relationship. He's the one who requested that Boba Fett be held off in the announcement. And that boosted some of their stock, I'm sure.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he just made the easiest argument saying, we can't spoil the end of The Mandalorian. So let's hold off.
I don't think he had to make an argument.
Yeah.
That's my whole point, is I don't think he had to.
Yeah.
And I've seen him say quotes where, basically the buck stops with him on the show. And he's the one who kind of decides all these kind of things, it sounds like to me. All the other stuff is her stuff.
Yeah. What I have heard is that basically he was recruited not by Kathleen Kennedy, but by Bob Iger. And he has kind of like free reign to do kind of what he wants with The Mandalorian. Kathleen Kennedy, she gets some level of creative input, but Jon Favreau is the ultimate power there. But he only rules his shows. So I expect nothing but good to come out of his shows, and I expect mostly bad to come out of every show that he isn't making, because that is where all the literal acolytes are. And just look at what's been happening on the internet since the release of The Mandalorian Season 2 with the Skywalker reveal. Well, then you have like a guy who's been running StarTrek.com or is otherwise associated with it, going around all the interwebs saying, don't get too excited, because this still leads to that Skywalker in The Last Jedi, which is so important, which basically only goes to... Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Sorry, did I say Star Trek? I meant Star Wars.
Yeah, but we all do it.
But right now, they are literally the same crap, aren't they? Apart from The Mandalorian.
Not much difference, yeah. I mean, it was funny because I explained it this morning. We were trying to decide where they were at as a status of franchises, and I was basically like, Star Trek Discovery is like if we would have gotten Reylo in Rise of Skywalker. Like, that's where Star Trek is right now. Like, Star Wars is not as bad a place.
That is true. And I would say, like, for those that loved that scene, please love it. Let people know that you loved it. But be cautious about it as well, because again, when it comes to certain production houses, especially with Disney, they're not really big on going beyond that high point. They'll try and meet that high point over and over again, but they won't go beyond it. And I think that's something to consider. So love your moment. Cherish the fact that they did something cool for you, and that it brought back the feelings that made you fall in love with Star Wars as well. And hopefully Jon Favreau, he'll hear the message, and maybe he will find something else from that we all wanted to see and be able to deliver that as well, and keep pushing forward with the series, because expect other camps within the Disney Star Wars to try and copy that, and only copy that to get the same reaction. And it's not going to feel the same, and you're going to have some raised eyebrows and wondering, like, why did they do this? And like just know the difference between someone wanting to appeal to you based on what you like and what they like, and someone trying to patronize you. And I don't think Jon Favreau is going to try and patronize you. So just keep an eye out for that and enjoy the stuff that's coming from the heart of a creator, and you can tell when that's happening.
Yeah, and that kind of just goes into what I was saying about like where do they go from here? Like where can you go from here? Like this was it. This is like blowing your load, man. But yeah, I mean, unless Andre has anything else to say about it, I always point out the other obvious thing is no matter what happens with Kathleen Kennedy, she can be out the door tomorrow and her name is still going to be attached to shit. Her claws are still in Indiana Jones and some of this other crap. She's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon after she's gone because she's went and Amy Pascal'd her way into this shit. So,
yep.
Yeah. And beyond that, Indiana Jones is one of her babies anyway. So there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. No, so she'll, for one way or the other, she's in it for the long haul. Not saying that's a good thing, but that's how it is.
At least for a few more, at least probably for another 5 years to a decade, I bet. Anime Slayer has a good question here. Any Christmas movies you guys watch every year? Scrooge, National Lampoon's Die Hard are mine. Those three you just mentioned are ones that I watch pretty much every year. Muppet Christmas Carol I'd throw in there. Of course, I watch all the classic animated ones like The Grinch and Charlie Brown and all that good stuff too. So yeah, what about you guys?
Script, do you want to take it first?
Yeah, I watched the original Christmas Carol. I watch A Christmas Story because that was my dad's favorite.
Yeah, that's a
Christmas
good one
movie.
too. Yeah.
That's a fun one as well.
Home Alone as well in that vein. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually watch A Lethal Weapon, even though it's not as Christmassy as the rest of them. But I just like the buddy cops and the relationship between Riggs and Murtaugh.
You never need an excuse to watch Lethal Weapon. Script.
Exactly. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sometimes I have some other random ones, but I love Scrooged a lot. It's just a really charming Christmas film. The
only one I got to mention that hasn't been mentioned is Gremlins, because it's one of my favorites. But yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did binge on both Gremlins just a week ago. That was a blast.
As for me, the only one that I see just about every year is not a full feature film, but a short that's on TV every single year, namely Dinner for One. Now, I mentioned that with Christmas because here in Norway, for some weird reason I have never really understood, it's always on December 23rd, around 9-ish in the evening. In the rest of the world that have a tradition for showing it, they always do on New Year's Eve. But in Norway, and Norway only, it's December 23rd. So here, it's kind of like a Christmas movie, if you will. So that's the one that I see every year.
There you go. Good answer. Of course, I always watch Rudolph, too. I always forget about that one, but yeah.
I need to see that at some point.
Yeah. You've never seen the animated Rudolph? The original Rankin and Bass?
Nope, never.
It's classic. I don't know if it hold up for you now, but I mean,
probably not. I've seen clips of it, so yeah. But I've never.
It's not horrible though. I mean, your kids would probably dig it for sure.
Yeah, maybe
it's got a cancel culture reference in it, like 50 years before cancel culture.
Damn, that's impressive.
It does indeed. Mark C says, "How often do you guys visit the apartment inside? I don't know how to say that. In Koala.
Kowalski?
Koala.
Koalas?
I got koalas.
Okay,
I know what koalas do."
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koala.
And I think that pretty much answers that.
Yeah, I don't know who that
is. No, I'll be honest with you. Andre has no clue who the fucking guy is, and I can vouch for that.
Is this someone I'm supposed to know?
Yeah, it's someone who is one of our detractors.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for him.
I've tried to reason with him before. He's not a very reasonable individual. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, whoever it is, we're not going to disparage anything. If he has any issue with us, then by all means. So,
yeah. Anyway, that's all we have to say about that. No fucks given. Stephen Otten, thank you so much. Sends in $5. Wolf Walkers is excellent. Never heard of it. What's Wolf Walkers? Reminded me of classic Disney. Adults reading between the lines can find traces of Braveheart and Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Wolf Walkers. I have to look that up now.
Never heard of it.
Sounds cool.
Sounds like something.
Sounds like something I would like.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it's a cartoon.
Especially if it's what was that?
Wolf Walkers. Oh, I see the animation style.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back. Maybe it may be a cool story. I hope it's a cool story. It better be to compensate for that animation.
Yeah, I'd have to check it out to see first. Yeah, never know. If I get into it, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Stephen. Just a moment when you call it a lesbo film, you have failed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what we keep saying. And in that respect, Fat Steven Seagal wants a female. He doesn't just want. He demands a female remake of Midnight's Edge now. You know, if that happens, who's going to play me, right? Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, of course. Who would play me?
That's a question. That's an all female. Of course, he'd just play it as a woman. You're right. He'd insist.
You just go all the way. Like, come on, it's Ed Norton. He does that.
Yeah.
Or we could have David Walliams. I was frequently mistaken for him when I was an alien in Britain when Little Britain was on. Although he's a few years older than me, just slap him in a wig and then he could do it.
Yeah, and then of course Leslie Headland would play Rob.
Oh yeah,
and we just get Rick Moranis for a script. So.
That's a huge height difference, but okay, that's awesome.
Well, he's Canadian. It's just the Canadian. We don't know. We're just going by your icon. You look like a young Rick Moranis in that icon.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Rod Thunder. Oh, I got to say this name right. Rod Thunderheart says, Merry Christmas all, and not happy with KK around here. I don't think anybody is, really. And I think that's the one big misconception is you can be happy with this whole Luke thing and how Mandalorian's going and still not be happy with KK being in charge. The two are not synonymous. You know what I mean?
Oddly enough, The Mandalorian is a lot more independent than the rest of Disney Star Wars at this point.
Yeah, I've just seen too much mud through in the fandom itself, so I just wanted to address that real super quick. Jason Gallagher sends in 10, what is that, Swiss francs?
Yeah, that's Swiss francs, yeah.
Swiss francs. Thank you so much for listening in from Switzerland, evidently. Merry Christmas, Tom, Andre, Rob, and Script. Yes, Rob was listening in the chat. I don't know if he still is or not, but yeah, we hope Rob's doing well, considering. Dark King 616 sends in $5 Australian, says, has anyone noticed that the tent poles for Disney Plus are the MCU and Star Wars? Both properties Disney bought. Where's their in-house creativity? Oh yeah. Same thing with Pixar, which is another one they bought.
That's why they bought them, because they knew that they didn't have any in-house creativity left. That died during the late 90s. Yeah, during Eisner's reign. Then creativity both flourished and then it vanished and died.
Yeah,
and Iger's solution to that was basically, okay, we don't have creativity, but we can buy creativity. And that's why you see them so prominently there, that Disney's days of being creative are well and truly in the past. And the funny thing is...
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and the funny thing is that when Disney animation was revived, it was by the Pixar people, because that was part of the reason why they bought Pixar, was that, you know what? We're going to buy Pixar, and then you Pixar people, you will continue to run Pixar, and you're going to run Disney Animation. So it's the same people that run both.
Then we're going to Me Too your ass out of here, John Lasseter. Anyway, you want to say something, Script?
Well, yeah. I mean, it just goes to show that you may have a lot of money to buy creativity, but you can't make it, and that's what keeps you afloat. And they haven't been hiring the people that are the most creative, and I think that has to do with the fact that either they're way too expensive or they don't like the creative ideas and risks that are required with creativity for the Disney brand. And that's something that we have to think about, and that Disney's going to have to start thinking about in the next few years, because I think right now, Jon Favreau, they bought him. Like, they bought his contract, they bought whatever show he was pitching with The Mandalorian and the other two. And it's up to him now to deliver on that, which I hope he's able to maintain, because it is going to be draining to do 3 shows back to back to back, so to speak. But Disney has to sort of start hiring people that have imagination, passion, and creativity, as opposed to just buying other properties and just
I think
trying to figure out the formula to slot in there by paint by numbers.
Yeah, I think Robert Rodriguez is going to take a lot of the weight there. But no, there's 2 other reasons, though, that these properties were bought. One was to get the boys on board because Disney already had the market cornered on girls. They didn't have the market cornered on boys. The other reason was that something we always overlook, Andre, and I just thought about this the other day. And I mean, I knew about it, but it just didn't really like dawn on me. They're going to lose all the copyrights on all the classic Disney characters before too long here. The clock's ticking on the Mickey Mouse will be public domain within like the next decade.
Yeah, unless they somehow pull up another court case to extend it.
And I don't think they're going to be able to. The only thing I can see is maybe them saving Mickey, but they're not going to be able to save the rest. And the only reason I think they can save Mickey is they may be able to make an argument that Mickey is technically like the logo for their company. And they may be able to like kind of finagle some kind of way around it, but they're going to lose the copyright on all the rest of their characters in the next decade or two here. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, so that's another thing that's probably behind a lot of these acquisitions is they're trying to get themselves properties that aren't going to go up for public domain. Like kind of all started with the Muppets, if you think about it.
If that were to happen, though, I think they would be fine because really, how much do they monetize Mickey and Donald and Goofy
Mickey makes them a lot of fucking money.
But like, say Warner's Animation came out with a Mickey Mouse cartoon that they didn't need to give any money to Disney for, and
that would be embarrassing.
That would be, that's exactly what they want to avoid.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We're getting to a point here where all these characters from Mickey, Goofy on up are all going to be hitting the public domain before too long. I mean, so are like Bugs Bunny and all those guys too, though. So like, it's just getting to that point. So
I'll be the ones that they would still have copyright for, like Darkwing Duck and some of the DuckTales and things of that nature.
Some of those are later copyrights, maybe.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious, though, if Warner Brothers did a Mickey Mouse show better than Disney did, and Disney, in response, did a Bugs Bunny show.
No, but I can't remember what I was watching, but it was just talking about the fact, the whole Mickey Mouse law where they managed to pull it off and get a few extra years, because otherwise Mickey should already be in the public domain, I believe.
I think they did it 2 or 3 times. They pulled it off. Because I think Mickey Mouse was supposed to be in the public domain when I was like a toddler.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And that's the thing is, I think the only way, and that might be the only one they may be able to pull that on. You know what I'm saying? Like they can maybe finagle some argument that Mickey Mouse is technically the logo for their company. So they can kind of, get around that maybe. But that's the only one I see that happen. And then sooner or later, things like Snow White's going to end up going into the public domain and all these other movies and stuff.
Well, Snow White surely is already public.
No, I mean their movie. Their movie.
Yeah, their movie. Yeah.
Technically, it would be the names of the 7 dwarves that would go public domain.
That too. That's another thing that they've held on for many years. Yeah, that they've been very, litigious about. I didn't mean to kill the convo there.
No.
You make a great point. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens with it.
Yeah, and 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, I like that. Says, Tom, did you even sleep? No, not really. Caught you on Nerdrotic last night. Yeah, well, it would be this morning, more or less.
Never sleeps.
No, not really. I don't sleep. I don't know what that is. Dark King 616. Okay, we just covered that one. My bad. And yeah, I thought I mentioned the Grinch earlier, Fractal Jack. If I didn't, I apologize.
There's a lot of Christmas content.
I thought that message was from back then, so maybe that's. No. So I'm trying to keep up with these. Whoops.
This would be the next one. Whoops. There we go again.
Here
we go. Robert Montoya says, any word on Stranger Things?
As far as I know, they're going to do another season. I'm assuming they're just... I think the next season is supposed to be the last one, too, from what I heard. But
that's the rumor.
I think they're just on lockdown. They can't film it right now, I think is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I know they started some filming of it. Was my understanding. But who knows? I mean,
that's going to suck if they got to do a time jump because the kids
grow another foot. Yeah.
But you can work that into the story somehow, probably.
You can. Basically, you just have one of the kids going shopping with their mom, saying like, "You're growing too fast."
Well, you can just do a time jump somehow. Yeah. Just come up with a way to do it.
I should probably see that series at some point.
You've never seen it? I've seen the first season.
Never.
That's it.
Never.
First season was really good. I didn't get into it after that, but
the next thing I'm going to start watching is The Expanse. I think since everyone is like saying we have to see that, so yeah, I'll follow that recommendation,
I know.
since they have like Norwegian, or at least mock Norwegian lyrics in the end titles or something. Apparently, that's reason enough to see it right there.
Well, not only that, like, it's just, you know, like you said, everybody's talking about it, but
Yeah.
me, it's just trying to find time for everything. We did get
That's the issue.
Yeah,
That's the issue, is to find time for stuff, because like the time when other normal people have time to watch stuff like that, that's when we're creating this content.
yeah. I mean, and I just found out yesterday that Cobra Kai is getting bumped up to January 1st as well.
Oh, the bastards! Well, how are we supposed to have time for that?
I know. Well, at least that's short. You know, I watched that all in one sitting the last time. So, but we did get 2 Christmas wishes here in a row. Jason Gallagher, which is no longer, we can't bring up on the screen, sent in $10 and says, Merry Christmas, Tom, Andre, and Script. Well, thank you so much. And then we got M Tax Shark on the screen here, says thank you and Merry Christmas. Well, thank you and so much for that. But we did miss that one earlier. I just want to make sure we got that in there. And I think then we're caught up to all those that are on the screen, and we just got one from Mr. Tickle Trunk here, or 2 of them from Mr. Oh, we got a couple more I missed. Holy cow!
Yeah, we have a few more. Taker 610 says,
Yes.
Is Script Doctor more of a doctor than Jill Biden?
I don't want to get into
I don't
that.
know. I don't think so. I don't have my doctorate yet. So.
He only plays one on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm a script doctor. Script doctors is a term for like a story editor or a story analyst. And
well, Jill Biden is kind of one of those, isn't she?
That's what I think the joke is. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't been following that detail into politics.
I just didn't want to get into it. Yeah, but thank you so much, Taker 610, for the chuckle.
Yeah. Matt G said they have outhouse creativity.
Yeah. That is true in so many ways.
Good. That's a good one.
You outsource it to the outhouse. Yeah. Mr. Tickle Trunk sends in a couple in a row here. The majority of Star Wars fans understand where things are going. Favreau deserves respect, but most of us are still sitting with arms folded. F Disney. No, and that's totally fair, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And I'm not trying to take that away from anybody either.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
I'll say this. There's this axiom in Hollywood, which is a franchise is dead until it isn't. So keep that in mind. If you think Star Wars is dead, that's perfectly fine. But you never know. Someone, maybe Favreau, maybe another creative, may come along and revive it in a way where it's alive once again. And whether you agree with that or not, that's completely your prerogative, and I totally will defend your choice to do that. But just know that even when something kind of fails, someone will come along and try and revive it because there's money to be made and there's also other stories to be told. So,
well, he does finish off here with still sitting with arms folded, money in our pockets. Disney doesn't get it unless they kill their modern trilogy. They won't, but hope it exists. But hope exists. Hope is not a strategy. But anyway, you're saying Script that, sorry.
No, that's absolutely right. I mean, there are always ways to circumvent that. And it all comes down to what if the current regime in Disney maintains for the next several years. I don't think it's going to change. That part's going to change. But if a new head comes in, a new creative team comes in, who knows what will happen? So, and nobody stays at Disney forever. So things can change. It might not be in the next 10 years, but could be beyond that. So, but it's your money, everybody. Spend it where you want to, and cherish and relish the things that you enjoy. And if a company's not doing that, you don't have to pay for it.
Indeed. And Fat Steven Seagal beat up CDPR, says that Soul was good. Watch it this morning. Well, that's a good recommendation right there. And
sorry,
we got
you had another one.
That's all right. We got a super sticker from SHS Rebels 08, so thank you for that. And Max Mercer said, has Favreau read some of the old Star Wars comics? Some of the character designs were interesting. Maybe he has, but honestly, I think that the character designs and stuff are probably more so due to Dave Filoni and the overall George Lucas faction at Lucasfilm being there working with them. I think that's what that's all about.
I think they also have an image Bible of all the technology that they've all created and whatnot for their series. Yeah. I do know that Jon Favreau, like, he is a father, so I think that's why he's trying to do these father-children type of stories in there, which is actually really it's one of the stronger things that's coming through with The Mandalorian. And I think that's what's resonating with some fans as well.
Absolutely. It does seem like that way, yeah. And Nelson Chereta says, Weird Al's The Night Santa went crazy. Best Christmas song ever. Weird Al makes everything better. Merry Christmas, guys.
I can't argue with that. I love Weird Al.
So. I'm surprised that he didn't release a music video for that.
What's that? I think he has a video for it.
Oh, I've only seen a weird cartoon one that.
Yeah, that's the official video, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an old Flash cartoon thing, but yeah.
So yeah, I would have expected him to go all out, kind of like, Bad or.
Well, he kind of started producing his own stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as far as I know, like a lot of this stuff he goes directly to internet ever since like his last 2 or 3 albums.
Yeah, there was like this time when he dropped like 7 videos in a week or something.
Yeah, because that one album has them all on the album, and like it's a double-sided. It's got DVD on one side and then CD on the other. Yeah, that one's straight on Linwood, I think it is. That he dropped all 7 of those at once.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I don't recall. I just remember like the alphabet song or the spelling song, which was like
the palindrome song.
Yeah.
It was,
his only big video he's had in the recent years has been the Happy parody one where he had all the movie stars in it.
Oh,
that
right.
That was like his biggest music video he's had in a while.
Anyway, big fan of
huge fan here.
I am either way, so yeah, brilliant. Saul McShade says for 50 Swedish krona. In Sweden, they've shown Ivanhoe from 1982 on New Year's Day since the mid-80s. It stars Anthony Andrews, John Rhys Davies, James Mason, Sam Neill, and many more. That's actually funny because I've seen that movie once, and that was on Swedish TV. Because in Norway, we've always gotten the main Swedish channels. It was like funny. Like back in the 80s, in Norway, you had like the one Norwegian channel plus the 2 Swedish ones. Ettan och tvåan. So yeah. And now, of course, we get more Norwegian channels than Swedish. But there was a time when Norway had more Swedish channels than Norwegian.
Yeah. Dark King 616 sends in another Australian $5. Thank you so much. When does Doctor Who enter public domain? I want to see Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker create their own fan series. Well, in that case, once it's in the public domain, it wouldn't be a fan series anymore. Isn't the rights to that kind of all sort of like weird script? Or I don't know if either one of you know.
Yeah, right? It's a little tricky because I'm just trying to remember here because I think. Sidney Newman, who is a Canadian producer, was one of the key guys who made Doctor Who and sold it to the BBC. But I think his estate might have rights retained to it after. It's a complicated one because it didn't start in book form first, and television stuff is a little difficult because sometimes studios can actually own the rights of it in perpetuity, depending on.
Well, and isn't even like more convoluted because like the government involvement with BBC and all that kind of crap too, or something.
Yeah, because a part of me wants to. I wish I dealt more with the BBC. Unfortunately, I haven't had the luxury. But part of me thinks that sometimes with the BBC original shows, as outside of the original creator, it is also kind of the people's property in itself. But no, there might be some more complicated things there at that point, but I don't think it would be public domain if it followed under the similar rules of public domain like that we see having here in North America. It might be public domain in like the next 10 to 15 years.
That's another question: is what is UK? Yeah,
what is UK's rules? I don't know all those details.
Copyright is held. Yeah, that's another good question. Actually, it'd probably be a better question for those guys. But yeah, offhand, I don't know. And Andre, I don't know if you were looking it up.
Yeah, I would check out.
I have no clue. I have no clue on that. So yeah,
I just know they're complicated. Yeah, so I wish we could have answered that better. Sorry, we can't. But thank you, Dark King, for the $5 Australian super chat. Joe Pad 87 says, any preferred versions of A Christmas Carol? At the very least, I watch the Muppet version every year. Yeah, you must not have been in here earlier. I mentioned 2 that I watch just about every year, and that's Muppet Christmas Carol, which I just watched the other day when I was wrapping gifts, and The Scrooged is another one, and I just picked up the Albert Finney one because I found it for $10 at Walmart. I'm like, I don't have this one. But other than that, I don't mind. I mean, I think all of them are fairly decent. I'm having a harder time
the
trying to
Alistair
think of a
Sim
bad
one.
Yeah,
that's the one. The Alistair
Yeah.
Sim, because that's like the most iconic of the performances that I can recall.
I will also say that, in my opinion, I've seen many of them, including the one with Patrick Stewart. But in my opinion, the superior version actually is the Muppet version.
yeah, it's the closest to the book.
To me, that's the best one. It's funny when that happens, when you have something that should be like a parody or like a cartoon or something, and it's actually the superior thing. You have the same thing. We spoke about this on Monday when we had Nerdrotic for the Monday morning show. Then we spoke briefly about Around the World in 80 Days. And it's the same thing there. The by far most superior, most true to the source material version of it. It's not the movie, it's not the miniseries, but the cartoon series Around the World with Willy Fogg, with like the anthropomorphized animals. That's the superior version. So yeah, sometimes it's like
how that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
sorry, carry on, Tom.
I was just going to say,
I just want to interrupt real quick because a friend of the channel, Tom Conkle, dropped his radio play of A Christmas Carol, and I watched it.
Yes.
It's about 30 minutes. It's got some contemporary humor in it. It's quite charming, and I think after the show, you should all check that out. I'm going to see if I can find the link. And
absolutely. Yeah, do send the link, and we'll share it so everyone should go check out and support Tom Conkle. Absolutely. And we'll get back to that in the meantime. Alexander Vidakovic wonders, can Norwegians understand Swedes? And the answer to that is yes, we can. Swedes can understand Norwegian too, only with slightly more effort. It's funny, like the understanding is clearer in one direction than the other, but it's mutually intelligible, just like Spanish and Portuguese. Whoever Snail Messiah has answered it already. Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian are in the same North Germanic language root. 3 languages used to be one language, and entirely accurate. Oh, and Cardinal Sin has the answer to the Doctor Who situation. Works created by corporations, the BBC in this case, last 95 years in most countries, such as the US. Means UK maybe. Doctor Who premiered in 1963, so that first season all becomes public domain in 2059.
I think that answers that, unless there's anything we're overlooking.
Yeah, that's the other interesting part with public domain is that it's not really the characters outright, but the stories those characters debuted in at that year. So for some characters, like for instance Superman, if that becomes public domain, that year those issues came out are technically public domain and can be reinterpreted in different ways. But once you get to a little bit more further or beyond that, that's when you get into a bit more dicey territory, is my understanding.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. That once something goes into copyright, then that story is something that you can like adapt. But any new adventures featuring a character that is under copyright, that's a different matter. So for like the Disney thing, say for instance that Mickey Mouse then becomes public domain. What would actually happen is that Plain Crazy, which I believe is the first Mickey Mouse cartoon, that would be public domain, so that anyone could release that or do a remake of that, but only Disney would be able to make any new adventures featuring Mickey Mouse. Though anyone could adapt Mickey Mouse in a remake of Plain Crazy, is my understanding of it, but it's complex.
Yeah. Well, Michael Pate, if I'm saying that right, or Pate, the copyrights to Superman, Batman, Disney, Snow White, and early Looney Tunes characters will all fall into public domain between 2031 and 35. That's what I was kind of saying. And Mickey would also be up by then too, but we'll see what they can work out. And like Tim Hayes is pointing out here, all those copyrights back in the day had to be renewed over so many years, and a lot of stuff just fell into the public domain as it was. So you'd be surprised sometimes what has fallen into the public domain. And then, yeah, chances are if it's older than certain dates, it already technically is. So
yeah, like in Canada where I am, James Bond is in the public domain.
Yeah, that's an odd duck of a thing, though, isn't it?
It is weird, but like the benefits, if there's any Canadian producers who want to do a James Bond thing, they can without any reprisal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of weirdness, I found this story and I thought it was kind of funny. KFC is launching a gaming console that has a built-in chicken warmer.
I hope it's Android based. I hope it's like an Android device that has a chicken arm. Like if they're gonna like enter the market next to PlayStation and Xbox, then yeah, it should be interesting.
Well, the basics here are, yeah, I like this. Another very normal thing that happened in 2020.
That's the title for the movie. Yeah. Like whatever movie you take up 2020, that's a very normal thing happened in 2020.
Watch out, PS5 and Xbox Series X. The KFC gaming console is real. It's called the KFC console or KF console. It's essentially a VR-ready high-end gaming PC, and it comes with a built-in chicken warmer. Boom! Checkmate! Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Impressive.
Back in June, just after the PS5 reveal, KFC released a ridiculous trailer for the KF console, but everyone just figured they were joking. Turns out they were dead serious. KFC, the chicken place, has teamed up with Cooler Master and launched a gaming console capable of 4K and 240 frames per second. The joint press release doesn't mention price or release date, but I've reached out for clarification and will update this article if I hear back. There you go. So yeah, it's a thing, folks.
Yeah, the wonders never end in 2020.
Yeah. KFC's been kind of just jazzing it up lately with their goofiness, because when we had Lauren Chen on, she got a kick out of their little fake, it wasn't even really fake, it was real, but it was like little short films of like a KFC love story with, what was it, Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I remember that. I wish we had KFC in Norway. That would be nice.
You don't? That's
no,
too
we
bad.
don't. You know why? There's like one asshole that's sitting on the copyright, and he just wants someone to come and buy it from him, but he doesn't want to do anything with it. He just has the license, and he's just waiting for someone to come and pay him the amount of money that he wants to part it with. And he's been waiting for, I don't know, 20 years or something, and there's still no KFC in Norway.
I can't believe they just didn't come in and change the name. Like, just keep all the same kind of iconography and stuff, but just change it to American Fried Chicken instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I'd make a killing if they did, probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like you guys wouldn't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's not even the original recipe.
Because we don't have KFC. The only people that know
it's not like
from movies.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you guys would know it's supposed to be the same thing, though, is my point. Like,
yeah,
especially if they don't, because unless the guy owns the kernel, they can still use the kernel. Just call it American Fried Chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
It means just as much as Kentucky over there, I bet, if not more. I mean, because like most people, I'm sure if like you know what Kentucky is, but like unless you're somebody who actually gives a shit, like to you, it's just like, what is that? Yeah, it's another state in the United States. Okay, whatever. You know, like I'm sure that's the way most people probably see it.
Yeah, exactly. We heard the name Kentucky. We know it's a state. We don't think much more. Very few are going to take it from Kentucky to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's my point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, I don't see why they haven't yet. Why Pepsi just hasn't said fuck it and just called it. Like I said, you can use all the same iconography and everything. Just change the K to an A. That's all you got to do. AFC.
Now at your local AMC.
Yeah. Mr. Tickle Trunk sends. Thank you so much, Mr. Tickle Trunk. You've been so generous this morning. All you guys have. Thank you so much. Andre, let's hear your best Werner Herzog. Can you say? Go ahead.
Well, I can say it, but I can't do it like Werner Herzog. That's like the problem, that I can't like sound like anyone else because I'm stuck sounding like myself. But I can try.
Probably do it better than you can.
Yeah.
You are. Everything is a complicated profession.
Exactly, I can try. Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. I can't do it.
I can't say this. So does Rob.
Yeah. But I can't say this. That I can't say.
Andre is an excellent boss. Get me that baby.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, so that's the beauty with Midnight's Edge. Tom is great at voices. Rob is great at voices. That way, it's okay that I suck at doing voices, other than the one I'm stuck with.
Yes, we all do voices. Except for Andre. He has the cool voice.
Exactly. And Alpha Omega Record says, am I the only one who just cannot get into the Expanse? I'm right up to Series 4 and I can't take it. It must be me because it seems so boring. I have one question for you. Like, if you can't get into the Expanse, that's perfectly fine. Like, I haven't tried it myself yet. Maybe I can't. Who knows? But if you can't take it and you don't have to do it for someone else, why the hell are you up to Series 4? Should have bailed on it a long time ago. But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah. I'm trying to decipher this. Tom, if you gravely during vlogs or maybe just during the After Dark show, call out 3, 2, 1, go, and we can virtually powwow with you. Got Yule. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah.
Like, is he talking about like a gravely voice during, like you do your gravelly voice during
if you grovelly during vlogs or maybe
you go like Tom does the 3, 2, 1.
Oh, gotcha. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's what you mean. And then, yeah. Okay. If not, you don't have to send another super chat. Just, I know you can only fit so many things in there. Just at me in the chat. And if you got to clarify it. Yeah. Because even Dr. Coffin Nails is like, huh? Grovelly voice, I think is what he meant. Yeah, my grovelly voice. 3, 2, 1. Is that what you wanted?
Maybe. Oh yeah, and Mr. Tickle Trunk clarifies. Andre sounds like a Bond villain. He doesn't need another voice. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's probably better. Probably better that way.
Yeah, and this is true too. Taker 6110. Yeah, I knew the first KFC is actually in Utah. Yeah.
Do you also know that no one other than, I guess, the Colonel's family had ever tasted the real recipe because it's too complex to be used affordably in the KFC franchise?
Wouldn't be surprised.
So basically what KFC has is knockoff KFC.
Exactly, yeah. Even there's a story that the Colonel went to one of the locations, was so upset with how they're making the chicken that he went behind the kitchen with his own spices and whatnot and actually made it properly. And I guess corporate said, we can't afford all this and still make a profit with your recipes. So that's why they do you're not even getting the real recipe. And I don't even know what the details are. I think it's only within his family. But
the actual recipe they use is like locked up in a safe somewhere or some shit.
And that's only a third of it.
Yeah, well, now what they use anyway for like the past probably 20, 30 years, I believe 3M does both their coating and they do the chicken nugget coating too, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there you go, folks. It's just like a coating they put on and then they dip it in crumbles. It just sticks to the chicken and everything. That's all. And it tastes like whatever they wanted to make it taste like. So
good times.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like it. I
enjoy it.
I'd make a point of eating it every time I'm in Germany or abroad somewhere where they actually do have it. So yeah.
All right. And I think we're caught up on super chats, if I'm not mistaken. I think we haven't missed any, have we?
I'll do a double check, but I think we got them all. I'm just gonna do a refresh behind here. Maybe there's some other cool comments to highlight in the meantime. But yeah, give me a second. Anyway, I just have to say to everyone, thanks for joining us now on Christmas Day. That's most awesome of you all to join us. when we said that we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at this time, we weren't joking, were we?
Yeah. No, we weren't kidding. And yeah, that new bill, I'm kind of glad it hasn't been signed yet. And I hope to get, because there's a lot of shit in there beyond.
There are things in that bill which are dangerous for us YouTubers.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to get into it too much, but very much so. Like, it could totally be a big issue for.
No law should be that long. I'll just put it that way.
No, because here's like the thing that they just use the COVID thing as an excuse. When it's 5,000 pages long, then you have like 3 lines relating to the COVID stuff, and the rest are horrible, dreadful things that they would never be able to pass in a separate bill, which is why they include it in this thing here, trying to make the legislators pass it without knowing what they're passing. So it's not for me. It's like I'm not going to. I don't stand to receive anything anyway, since I'm not in the US and I'm not a US citizen. But seriously, I hope that thing there gets blocked because it's awful.
Or vetoed. I think there's still veto power available.
Yeah, I think Trump could veto it, but according to Abe Froman, he says it was voted down. I don't know if it was or not from what I heard this morning. But
I think there's a new provision they added in, I think, for more money.
Well, okay, not to get into the fucking politics. This is what I heard this morning before we came on the show, because I do check in on news and shit here and there. Basically, what I heard was Trump said he wanted the 2,000 added in. The Democrats were all for it, but then the Republicans blocked it. That's what I heard. And again, I'm not trying to get into politics bullshit, but that's what I heard. And again, to me, it seems like the Democrats really want this fucker passed real bad. Like, because of all the shit that's in there is a lot of the crap that they've been.
There's loads of authoritarian ideological.
And then the same thing goes with like the other side. And what I see here is just basically what we've all been saying for years about the whole. They're all the same two sides.
Oh, they are absolutely. Yeah. Because you have the crony establishment, and that doesn't care if it's one side of the aisle or the other, because it's exactly the same thing. And then you have those that perhaps put the people first, and that's the anti-establishment side.
Yeah, so, and basically, no, at this point, the whole fucking thing, I don't give a shit how much work was put into it. There's anything in there that has nothing to do with COVID should be stricken, should be taken the fuck out. Then you'll find your $2,000 per person in America. Trust me. That's what Trump was on about in the speech the other day.
Yeah, because I think there's many things out of context there.
Exactly.
Because there's so many things there that have no money should be spent on them, and that they should never be in any bill, period. And many of things are things that would be devastating to YouTubers. Yeah, forget about the high seas, but just for anyone that's doing streaming, and for instance that uses like pictures and audio clips and stuff like that clip we like to use of J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man 2. Like, that's something that actually we couldn't do under the restrictions of this new bill, because if that were to pass, you can bet that YouTube would instantly become draconian in their measures.
Well, they're the ones probably pushing for it, if anything, just so it's easier for them to not have to deal with the bullshit. Then it's easier for them to just say, you know what, you're gone. And not only that, well, the part that scares me more so isn't so much that like what YouTube could use against us, is what they can go after somebody for just, doing that. Like it's very scary. It's almost scarier than the whole, like, if you copying this tape crap, because all they really care about when it comes to that kind of crap with the FBI warning is if you're somebody out there selling a buttload of bootleg copies. They don't care about the general person, but this puts the general person at risk going like to prison and the big fines and all that kind of shit, because if you ever go back in history of all these things that have ever happened with those kind of law, with that law, the only people who have ever gotten in trouble for it, like I said, have been people who are actually running like bootlegging operations. I don't think I've ever seen a case where an individual has ever been prosecuted under that. I mean, I've heard of threats, I've heard of stories, but I've never seen.
I think the worst I've heard is like a fine.
Well, even then, like, I don't think anybody for a personal thing has ever been,
had the book thrown at them. Yeah, no.
It's always been somebody.
There's a first time for anything.
And that's what this is opening the door for, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, Christian Sanders says, Christmas duties taken care of. Now for the last couple of minutes of Midnight's Edge. Happy holidays and thanks for the entertainment. Well, thank you for joining us, Christian. We appreciate that. Yeah, we got to watch Wonder Woman here eventually.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to it.
And Star Trek Discovery. Definitely not looking forward to that. Script, how many episodes are left of that? Like, are we done soon?
Two episodes are left. This episode kicks off the final conflict, and they're very much trying to interweave the Emerald Chain into the Byrne storyline, and it's oh boy, yeah.
Who the hell cares about like that Emerald Chain? Like seriously, who cares? Who cares about any of this? It's so oh my god, it's so awful. It's such pain and misery to sit through.
And Taker to 610 has a great story for the end of 2020. American football players sorry for being photographed with strippers, but it's 2020, so he was sorry for not wearing a mask, not the stripper.
Gosh.
Oh, Lord. Tom has time to watch Thunderball, but no time. Yeah, you're damn right.
Yeah, one thing is much more pleasurable, isn't it?
Yeah, and I barely got time to watch that as it was, man. Holy crap. Oh, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Holy cow. Another one. Thank you so much. Says, if the primates we come from had known that someday politics would come out of the gene pool, they'd have stayed in the trees and written evolution off as a bad idea. JMS from Babylon 5. Yeah, I've heard that quote a few times. Yeah, very true. Very true. That takes me back to that story I introduced to Comics Division's Thursday night stream we do. Sometimes I stumbled upon this story about... you were on that, weren't you, Script, with the monkeys?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
The monkey experiments. Like, they had this group of monkeys, and they're like, well, let's see what happens if we introduce currency into
them.
And within no time, they were they're stealing, prostituting, shooting themselves out for money, and even planned a bank heist.
So it's not the species that's the problem. It's the
no shit. You can find this study out there. But yeah, basically, yeah, because what they would do is they'd use these little coin-like tokens to trade for treats. So they learned early on, real quick, what and so they were gambling, they were prostituting themselves out, and then one day they all got smart and they knew how they brought in the tokens or whatever. So one monkey, the other two monkeys were fighting or something to distract, and then the other one went up and hit the trade and knock all the coins, and they all ran to the coins and they all ran back to the
monkeys are horrible people. There's nothing else to say about it.
And there was another part of that where it was a totally different experiment, though, where they did the whole social experiment of I'm not going to get into it. It's so convoluted, but yeah, it just shows how much they are like us. It's crazy.
Yeah, nothing has really changed. So that's like the thing. Only like the manner in which we execute stuff has changed, but fundamentally it's all the same. Yeah, and Mr. Tickletrunk, he really enjoyed that study. And I had a question from Gridania, who says, Andre, do you have interest in playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla? No, I don't have any interest in modern games. Like I suck at like modern games. I'm a retro gamer for a reason. So yeah, Team Mega Drive.
And Rob Atlas is hailing on his people. Says apes together strong. Monkeys are petty. Yes, they are. Yeah, that was that one story about the social experiment. Yeah. Anyway, was there anything else we wanted to cover here today, or did we? I think we've hit on everything.
I think we hit on everything there is to hit on for a Christmas special, in which we really don't have anything much to talk about. So yeah, I think we hit on all the main points.
Yeah, and Lord Ra also says penguins do that. They've been recorded trading pebbles for sex. Yeah, we're not alone. Just makes you realize how close to the primordial ooze we really are, huh?
Well, we're a lot closer than we are different.
Just look at an anthill. That's society in a micro scale.
And then Mr. Trickletrunk found another one, said that they did was give the coins to the females and the entire group fell into Oh crap! No, that's funny.
See, this is where you need that that clip from Spaceballs, Tom, where it's like, well, there goes the planet.
Oh shit! There goes the planet. What's that coming out of her nose?
Spaceballs.
Steve Marvin says, "Thank you, Midnight's Edge, along with RLM, for my introduction into the Fandom Menace at large. Merry Christmas." I wouldn't even know if RLM knows what the Fandom Menace is per se. Well, they might, but I don't know if they really know half of our channels or watch any of our stuff.
One of them actually watches us. Yeah, there's one of them that apparently likes us. They not one of the two main guys, but like the third
Rich
one.
Evans.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, he apparently watches our content from every once in a while. So that's pretty cool. So if you're watching, we'd love to have you on, Rich.
Yeah. No kidding. And actually, we're not that far away, at least from me. So I'd like to be on an RLM. No, I'm just kidding. They'd be like, who the fuck is this guy?
And Mr. Tickle Trunk says thanks for the show today, and with that, I think it's as good as time as any to start rounding it out and let you all go back to whichever holiday celebrations you are currently undertaking.
I'm curious, how many are you going to go watch Wonder Woman? Hit a 1 in the chat right now if you're going to go watch Wonder Woman. I want to see how many people are going to actually. I'm curious.
Yeah, and then I'm also curious if you are going to watch it, but you're going to Surfshark it rather than watch it on HBO Max.
Push 2.
Then push 2.
So we'll see here. We'll give it a second for the chat to catch up, and I'll go watch Soul, says Phil Barkley.
Yeah, and if you're also going to watch Soul, and hit it 3, and if you're going to watch Soul but not on Disney Plus, you're going to Surfshark that too, hit a 4.
Wow, we're getting a lot of 2s right off the bat.
A lot of 0s.
A lot of 0s, which means nothing. Which means you're not going to watch it at all, evidently. Okay, I can handle that. A lot of 2s and 11.
Yeah, I think that's 2 1s.
That could be 2 1s. It means you can watch it twice. Okay. I'm surprised how many 0s there are. Wow.
Yeah, I told you. I don't think that Wonder Woman 84 is going to do all that well.
I think the word of mouth has killed any momentum it had, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think that that when they said that, you know what, we're just going to pretend that the movie is going to get $1 billion, and we're going to pay you off, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, so that the two prolific women don't talk out against us. They probably overpaid relative to what the movie actually was worth in the marketplace. But
you know what this also means, though, is that for whatever argument you can make from Legendary to with regards to Dune being in theaters, they can now point to 2 feature films that have gotten the theater and HBO release and say, listen, do you want to have no HBO at all and then just rely on the theaters?
Yep.
And that's going to make them have to reconsider.
Yeah. No, and that's why I think they're going to do the Dune thing, because I think Andre and I are right. Like, oh yeah, sure, fine, we'll throw it in theaters first. Ain't going to make no money, and then we don't have to pay you jack shit.
Yeah,
and basically,
that's kind of what I'm thinking too. That's kind of what I'm thinking too as well. I don't think that the movie is definitely going to theaters at all. I think that there's loads of posturing from Legendary right now because they felt they were done dirty. But we'll see how the market continues to move for the next few months. I am still inclined to believe that it's going to open day and date on HBO Max with theaters, and possibly earlier than we think. Just my thoughts. I don't know that. That's just my thoughts. Script, do you think there's something to that?
I think there is, because I can only see it and then advantageous outcome for HBO Max in this situation with regards to subscription numbers and maybe even a little bit more control over the content that they're able to produce. I think that they want to basically, not so much hold hostage some of these production companies, but pretty much say, listen, this is the future. We got to get in board now. The first ones here it's like a race to the moon. The first ones there claim it. And HBO Max is kind of falling behind, but they still have the ability to sort of claim it in a different regard, meaning that theaters are no longer the go-to place in the United States or North America for brand new content. And they if they can get out more stuff faster than all the other competition, excluding Netflix, they will be the big boys in town, and that's what they want.
Indeed. Indeed. We also got a couple of more super chats. Blaster Master said for $10, thank you so much. My new favorite pastime is to watch young folks react to old movies. Just look up reaction. First time watching Die Hard, Airplane, Terminator. You will find dozens of these videos posted. Oh yeah, that's quite a rabbit hole right there. So you want to disturb a few hours.
There's actually a couple individuals who have been watching specific ones where I've actually thought about reaching out to them and seeing if they'd be interested in joining us for a Midnight's Edge After Dark or something sometime. Just to, because it is, I love seeing young people actually get it. You know what I mean? Like, you see so many young people, like, oh, I don't want to watch it because it looks old and the effects are lame and it's just dumb and boring. And you know, it's really great to see these young people get involved in these films and really understand what made them classics. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. And Diego Flores says, I wonder what would happen if Mario movie universe is created from all those characters. How this would hit Disney as a whole. I think you mean Nintendo's Super Mario. And if that were to happen, I think it depends entirely on how successful it is. Personally, I think there are some upper limits to how successful a Super Mario cinematic universe can be, but that's just me, and I say that as a Sega kid.
Here's the thing. You have the Mario movie coming out, and I believe that there's all kinds of doors that could be opened for a universe, but I just keep stressing to people, and I don't want anybody to be disappointed when we see the first trailer for the Mario movie and they realize, oh, this is completely aimed at 6-year-olds.
Yeah, isn't that like completely animated?
Yeah, it's being done by Illumination, the company does the Minions movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and Nintendo, I guess, has a heavy duty like mandate over top of it, so they're going to make sure that nothing like the other movie ever happens again, and that's why I feel like they're going to do whatever they can, and they know what their core fan base is. They know it's kids; they're not stupid. And what it's going to be a movie that the adults can take their kids to. They're going to think, you know, it's safe because it's Mario, and they're going to be right. They're going to come out of it going, oh, that was really cutesy wootsy kids kind of movie. It's not going to be as hard edge, or I mean hard edge. It's not going to be as edgy, I should say, as Sonic, I bet, because Sonic is probably what took it to about the edge of where, you know, these
where you should go for a kids film. Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be more think like Wreck-It Ralph, only less sarcastic. I'm guessing.
I think that's Wreck-It
Hopefully
Ralph
it's better than the
emoji
movie.
Oh, I think you're right, Andre. But I mean, like, this is going to be aimed at kids. We have to remember what Nintendo does. This is what Nintendo does. They make sure that they bring them in young, and Mario is their Mickey Mouse. So,
yeah, you know what? That's actually funny. That then you might say that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie does what Nintendo don't.
I think so. I think people are going to compare the two, and people are going to say the Sonic movie was better. I really do, because it's going to be one that everybody can kind of enjoy, because it's not afraid to get a little. It wasn't afraid to get a little, you know. It had fun, a little tongue in cheek. It didn't go overboard, but they're going to make sure that they go nowhere near the adult oriented stuff they did in the Mario live action movie. I guarantee it.
Which ironically was the best movie in 2020 in theaters, if you ask me.
The Mario movie.
No, the Sonic movie.
The Sonic movie. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Actually, the Sonic movie is one of the better movies that have come out in theaters this year.
Yeah, between that and Bill and Ted and Bad Boys 3, those are probably my top 3.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all the stuff I've seen has been on streaming.
Actually, I like the original Mario movie too.
I like the original Mario movie.
Yeah,
I don't hold it to a standard though. Like
good cyberpunk.
Yeah,
good cyberpunk. Well, of course, in no universe should Super Mario be cyberpunk, but that's where they went. And given that someone were stupid enough to get the showrunners behind freaking Max Headroom to do a Super Mario movie, then that's kind of what you get. And for that, it was pretty good.
And Dennis Hopper was pretty fun chewing up the scenery. So
Oh, there's a lot of things to love in it. Don't get me wrong, especially in a mystery science theater kind of way too. Alpha Omega Records says mad to release Wonder Woman in EU cinemas. Nowhere to see it. I can actually go down the street and see it, but I'm gonna go watch it on my TV. I got a 4K TV. Why would I want to? And Dolby Atmos. So why would I want to go to some crap theater? That's actually their screen's probably not much bigger than my TV.
Indeed. And Chris Nimitz says, greetings from Poland. Merry Christmas, folks. You know, I've always wanted to celebrate Christmas in Poland because they have like these amazing celebrations and stuff there. So yes, Merry Christmas, everyone, and Merry Christmas, Poland.
And Diego Flores comes back again. Considering those 6-year-olds make so many adults spend so much money on merchandise, even though the majority of the Mario fan base is over 30 years old, and I'm one of them. And they know that. They know that, Diego, but they also know they have to keep it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm just like trying to get everybody to realize, don't expect like some really deep Mario universe thing.
Or deep lore or anything. I mean, the best thing that they can do is appeal to kids and throw in a couple of jokes that the parents that's bringing them will like, and then you've kind of hit your peak there. Because that's one thing that I've noticed a lot of writers who write for children's programming forget is that in most cases the parents are watching with the kids, and if not, they're at least in the room with them. So you kind of have to make sure you throw in a little bit of content that the parents can get a little bit of joy out of, so that they can at least maintain the consistency of them going back to future projects from that team, right?
You know what? Actually, that way, that's how you actually ensure that the parents aren't just in the room, but that they're watching it with them. Like, for instance, when my kids are watching, what's all that horror, like Blaze and the Monster Machines and Paw Patrol and stuff like that, then I'm in the room. When they're watching the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, I'm watching it with them.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully this is a movie you can watch with your kids, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, again, don't expect any big, like, deep lore, like, any major scary or more adult-oriented. Like, I don't even think they'll go to the extent that, like, some of the Despicable Me movies went with some of the adult humor, is my point.
Well, you never know, though, because look at the Lego movie. Like, those had...
I still think they're going to play it safer than that. I really do. Because this is
probably,
Nintendo.
but we'll see. Here's like the beauty: if they are smart enough to realize that the Lego movie is the template they need to look into, rather than that what's the thing from Sony? It was referenced here earlier, like the smiley. The
emoji movie.
Yeah, thank you. If they think that that's what we need to look into, then I think it's going to be.
Let me clarify. I don't think it's going to be obnoxious like that. What I think it's just going to be is basically, if you've enjoyed the last few games that they've come out with, that's the tone it's going to have. It's whatever the tone is right now at Nintendo for the games. That's what they're going to bring into this, because they're going to just avoid anything they can as far as what happened in the original film, and they're going to do whatever they can to make it safe for kids and merchandise the shit out of it. And now, though, they're staring at a situation where this was meant to be some big theatrical release, and it's probably not going to be. Like, there's whole nother side note to this whole thing. So, no, I don't want to discourage anybody. I just feel like I don't want anybody getting like this idea that it's going to be like the MCU of Nintendo World or anything. I don't see that happening. I mean, they may do like a Legend of Zelda and some other properties, but see, now that they might go a little more adult with. You know what I'm saying? I think if they do anything, they may do like a Nintendo universe of movies, but they're not going to be connected, is my point. And that's just, I just don't see them doing that. There's too many variances in the franchises. Like, that's why they did that thing with Captain N and all that stuff on Saturday mornings, and they had it all kind of split up. You had Mario, then you had Zelda and shit,
For the fans, though, I hope that you will get exactly the kind of movie that you want, no matter how it is for anyone else. Yeah. I hope that you will like the movie Diego, no matter what it is. So I hope that you and every other fan will like it. I do hope so. That's the most important thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a safe film. I don't think it's going to be bad. I don't think it's going to be obnoxious. I just think it's going to be very safe. That's what I think.
Yeah. And Blaster Master sends for another $10. How about young folks reacting to old music?
That's good shit too, yeah.
Just look up reaction, first time listening, AC/DC, Twisted Sister, Motley Crue, Coolio, Joan Jett.
Queen is one of my
Hundreds of
favorites,
videos in just
Benatar.
the past 6 months.
Yeah, I love
absolutely.
seeing kids react to Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that kids just. I love the facial change that where they just get into that shock later on in some of those.
Especially when you can tell this is the farthest thing from anything they listen to, and then just the fact that afterwards it just blows them away, you know.
Yep.
There's also some pretty sweet Rammstein reactions.
Yeah, well, of course,
there.
there's not to take away from all the other.
Yeah.
You know. The Fezman says they could make Luigi's Mansion a film. Yeah, see, that's what I see them doing. Is more like it'll be more in tandem with what they do in the games. We're not going to get a live action Mario. They're not going to give us a PG-13 Mario. They're not going to probably do this big whole like.
They'll give us a cartoon Legend of Zelda game video, movie.
That they may even go a little more like Lord of the Rings-ish with. See, that's the thing. I think they're going to be more picky and choosy. If Mario's successful, the door opens. And then it definitely opens for more spin-offs of Mario as well. So you never know. Fezman wants me to say it, I bet. Put the cookie down now. Of course, he's yelling at the late, great Phil Hartman. And then, you didn't have to do this, Diego. You could have just added us. I still feel that a kiddie Mario movie would be something most fans would enjoy. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even trying to make it sound like a bad thing, so sorry about that. But just to make something that fans waited years and can see with their kids, the more reason. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. I think that's what they're going to do. It's not going to be, I just don't want everybody like, oh, I was hoping for something more deeper. But I think people are going to walk out of it a lot like Sonic. I think they're going to feel like, okay, it wasn't horrible, but it was good enough. You know what I mean? Like, as long as they don't they're not going to disrespect the character. Nintendo will not let that happen. So you're not going to get any fart jokes in here. That's my whole point.
So yeah. And William Sova says, Merry Christmas, guys. To be fair, I honestly always thought the Mario movie was going to be in the vein of the Shrek movies.
No, I don't think so. You could be right.
That
see, to me, like Wreck-It Ralph is more like the Shrek universe of video game movies. They're going to avoid being... They're going to probably do some tongue-in-cheek stuff maybe, but they're going to avoid being self-referential and all that kind of stuff, I bet. That's just my guess. I think they're going to take it seriously enough. Yeah, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Can you get Mike Tyson? That's the question. It's not even Mike Tyson's Punch-Out anymore. It's just
they rebranded it. Yeah.
Just Punch-Out. You see, that's the problem solved. As long as you keep like the same basic characters, then yeah. But honestly, I'm more excited for Sega's film output if
that'll
happen.
I think that'll
because
be
because Sega was always more edgy, and I think that the movie is going to be as well. Of course, I really hope that the Super Mario movie will be successful, that it will deliver to the fans, and that it will deliver multiple sequels that the fans will also enjoy.
Yeah.
But in terms of variety, I think that Sega probably has more going forward just with the movies or titles that we have heard about, which in addition to the child-friendly Sonic is Golden Axe, which isn't going to be nearly as child-friendly.
No, I think they'll go PG-13 on that at least.
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly the same thing with Shinobi. That would also be like a PG-13 thing. So you have like some more variety in there. So yeah, fingers crossed. I would not be opposed to more video game movies of titles and properties that lend themselves to it.
And then Roger Haynes says, how about a Kirby movie where he rescues Nintendo from Universal Studios? Well, I think that's a big part of this deal and why they went with Illumination, because there's an Illumination based over there at Universal Script.
I think so, yeah. I think they're yes.
I'm trying to think. I think all the Minions movies and all that were released by Universal, as far as I know.
I think they are. Yeah, they are released by Universal. I think that's their studio.
That's the reason they had that big year 2-3 years ago, was because of Fast and the Furious and the Minions and Jurassic World or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was a huge year for them. I don't follow the animation side of things as much as I want to, because I'm just kind of getting into it this year with one of my scripts that I'm trying to sell. So I'm still learning those new.
Where's that Nintendo World going to be at? Is that its own thing, or is that going to be in Universal Studios? I can't remember now.
I think
That's in the Universal Studios, isn't it?
yeah,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where because there's building one there and there's another one in Japan, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, I look forward to going back to Universal Studios then. That's in 2035 or something. when
Steve
it's
would
possible to
appreciate
go back
this.
to the States.
Or a DM says a Super Mario movie is a pipe dream.
Well played.
I'm gonna give him a maximum. I know this is not one of the regular shows. I got to give him a maximum effort puppy for that one. I'm sorry, Andre, but we have to.
Go for it. Yeah, we have
You
to.
earned it.
It's Christmas.
You haven't seen the new maximum effort yet, have you?
I think
It's
I
a
have.
new one. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's
Oh no, that's news to me.
He's a new one. And
Yeah.
strap. All right, the ladies love that one. DeWall says the original Super Mario movie sucked. I still think it's better than anything Hollywood replaces it. You could be right. That's the thing is as bad as the Mario movie is, that's what I think is kind of funny about Hollywood. As cheesy and bad as some of the movies were when in the 80s and 90s, they're still not nearly as bad as some of the garbage they shovel us today that we consider good. You know what I mean? Like, I would take a Mario Brothers movie right now. You don't have to call it Mario Brothers, but I think we would all enjoy that as like a cyberpunk kind of movie, like you were saying, Andre. It's imaginative enough.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's the parallel universe where like Super Mario, but it's cyberpunk. That's like what it is.
I mean, you could really just take the Mario characters out of it, and it still would be an interesting film. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Switch them out for. I mean, they are kind of generic in their own sense as it is. Like they really don't look they look like the characters. But they don't really have any of the same traits or anything. So, like I'm saying,
anyone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you could change all the names, keep all the same people, and it would just be its own thing. I think.
Well, yeah, and the other part too, which is also a little bit sad, is that they're trying to condition the public to base our opinions on the lowest common denominator. Well, at least it's not that bad, and I don't like that mentality. I want something that makes people's socks get like literally knocked off or like be blown away, like how the Hollywood blockbuster started eventually. Like it was like, wow, that was better than anything I've ever seen before. That's kind of what you want the reaction to be out of a film. You don't want to be like, well, it's not as terrible as The Last Jedi.
Right. Well, my other problem with it is that a lot of the so-called critics out there, everything that comes out is the best ever, or the best since whatever the best one we deemed prior. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I've seen some of those.
It's always the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back, the best Star Trek movie since Wrath of Khan. That's the way they start out. It's like the hyperbolicness. It's like it can't. You gotta look at these things realistically. It's like you're gonna lose your readers or your listeners
credibility,
saying shit like that, and then eventually your credibility. Talking to you, Scotty. Speaking of, because I'm sure I sent you that, Andre, but I don't know if you got a chance to read it. But Scotty Mendelson didn't waste no time in jumping on fucking the whole thing with Mandalorian about.
Oh, I'm doing an editorial about it. So yeah, don't worry about that. I'm completely on that.
Yeah,
so,
I figured.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just all like, it's like, oh my God, Scotty, give it a fucking rest already, man.
Yeah, no, there are so many in the established media, the same people that were all about The Last Jedi and how that was the best thing since sliced bread. They were so offended by this.
Yeah.
Like, no. They really loved tearing down a cultural icon and tearing down a part of our joint cultural heritage. That was awesome.
You know what's funny?
And restoring it, that's dreadful. And that's how you can tell the critic from an ideologue.
Yeah, we had real critics back in the day. I'm going to tell you two of them right now, Siskel and Ebert. You may not have agreed with every one of their reviews, and there was times they had some pretty shitty takes on things. And I'm talking about like their attack on slasher movies and stuff. But I'll tell you this. They were real critics. They fought like cats and dogs about shit, but they didn't treat each other the way that these critics treat people now. And Richard Roper, he comes from that same school, and I'll give that guy credit. I don't agree with all his reviews either, but I've talked to him and I've corrected him on certain things, and he doesn't turn on me like a rabid dog. You know what he says? Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. And that's it. No need for anything else there. He doesn't come after me like, oh, you're just a nistophobe and you don't want to. No. And that's the thing is these critics don't even understand anymore that, people aren't going to agree with every fucking thing you say. That's what those guys got, and I love listening to their conversations and love listening when they have other people involved too. Like, especially when they're on like Johnny Carson or Letterman and they would just go off, and that's the thing though, is that they really just truly loved film. And that's what I don't think any of these critics do anymore. And that's why I think people gravitate towards us here on YouTube, is because they do realize we do truly love film, especially Robert Meyer Burnett.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if there's anybody, like, I may not agree with every one of his reviews, but if there's somebody who I trust as far as like he's giving me the straight dope, it's him. And I hope that's the way you guys view us. And that's kind of really what we've always strived for here. I mean, not just in that, but in everything. So, yeah. And it's been a wonderful year with you guys, despite all the downfalls of everything going on. I mean, you guys have hung in there with us and supported us, and we appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. And with that, I think it's as good as time as any to again say thanks for the support and for joining us. And also, speaking of support, do check out our good friend and filmmaker Tom Conkle's The Haunting of Ebenezer Scrooge. It's on YouTube. I'm going to put the link right here in the description. I see that was already done there. Brilliant. So absolutely. So absolutely go and check that out. I'm going to put that in the description as well. We got a final one from Blaster Master, who says, what's Tom Cruise method acting for Tropic Thunder 2?
If he was method acting, he'd been a lot more harsher.
Yeah. And to be fair, when a lot of people saw him do that role, they were like wondering why the heck this guy hasn't gone into comedy as supporting eccentric characters, because he nailed it.
I think that he'd be so much better than any of his serious roles, which I honestly, personally only like. I only like 2 of his roles, and Tropic Thunder is one of them.
Yeah, I like a few of them, and that's the funny thing is most of the roles that I do enjoy of him, he has the best freakouts.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like look at like Color of Money when he bucks up that fucking stairway. And then I love Rain Man when he's just flipping the fuck out. And he's like, Ray, am I using you? Yes. Just shut up. He's answering a question from a half hour ago.
So he's a bit of a nut job in real life, isn't he? So he's really, really good at playing characters that aren't necessarily all there.
Absolutely. And especially that's one of my favorites is in Tropic Thunder. So
yeah. No, that's my number one of all his roles. By far. So that's absolutely the one to check out.
Rain Man's my favorite.
What's strange is that you kind of need a producer like that these days, because you don't seem to have them, because who's the one that's going to tell the key grip to punch the director right in the face?
I want you to punch him right in the face.
You know what? Imagine if you had a producer saying that on the set of The Last Jedi. How awesome would that be? Like you, key grip going punch Ryan Johnson.
Would complain, and he wasn't even on the set.
So yeah.
I guess that joke landed badly anyway. The Boga Donuts, Joe Bega Donuts says, I don't even know what the hell I was reading there. Thank you guys for all you do. I thought I was alone before I found everyone in the fandom. Merry Christmas. No, you're not alone, Joe. I'm sitting here with my animals, but I've got all you guys out there listening. So that makes me feel like I'm not alone as well. So thank you. And William Soba sends in another super chat. Thank you so much. Sorry, I meant a kid movie parent can watch together. Oh, we knew what you meant, William. You didn't have to send in another super chat. But thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think we got that idea from what you were saying. Oh, and you guys are flooding them in here at the last minute. I don't think anybody wants to go watch WonderWoman. Andre, I think I was wrong.
Yeah, I told you. I think that movie is going to be a bust.
I was like, I think we should start early because I think we're going to start losing everybody once WonderWoman starts. And yeah, no. Don't look like that so much. Diego Flores, thank you again, says, could we have some kind of movie appreciation hour from the Midnight's Edge crew, especially 80s and 90s? Actually, Diego,
I'd love that.
We probably could, and we actually kind of did that over on According to Christie's stream for many weeks where we went through our top 10s of each year. So yeah, I'm sure we could come up with something along those lines. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing with the Bond thing in a way. Yeah. I mean, we're just seeing how it holds up for me, and I'm kind of looking at it from 2 different perspectives, but yeah, I mean, that's surely something we definitely would look into. We used to do a lot of watch parties over on Mead, but nobody ever watched them. So, and that's kind of what we do there, is just talk about how much we love whatever movie it was we were watching. So, yeah.
Yeah. And The Wall sent us $20. Whoa, thank you so much. Christmas come early this year. So thank you for your
Thank you so much.
Well, not that early, actually.
Well, right on time, actually.
So yeah, right on time. And he says, saddest thing about original Super Mario Brothers movie. Actually did their research. The scene where Mario taps on a pipe to get direction and tells what he's doing and how is a thing New York plumbers figured out how to do. That's awesome.
I'm very curious. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You first.
We're probably just going to say the same thing, but yeah, they actually did some research with how they can integrate real plumber tricks with that movie.
Well, here's the thing. That movie went through so many incarnations. It started as an actual Mario movie. And then the directors they got are like, well, we don't want to make a Mario movie. We want to make a cyberpunk movie, basically. And it was this push and pull and pull and push. And it kind of got to a point, kind of like with the Masters of the Universe movie, where Nintendo just finally threw their hands up in the air and they say, we just don't care. Just get the fucking movie done. Because we need the movie. The movie needs to get done. We don't care what's in it. Just get it done. And I can't wait till we talk to Ed Sullivan, because I'm curious at what point he came in, what he contributed. And I got to imagine anything that was like in that level that you're talking script, it's probably in his contribution.
Could be.
He seems like one of those that he asks those kind of questions and stuff sometimes. So you never know. But yeah, we're supposed to be talking to him again soon. So hopefully we'll be able to ask him such questions. There you go.
Yeah. And Tina Bojan says, Tom plus Andre plus Script Doctor better than Wonder Woman. Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate that.
That's coming from a woman.
Meant to equate one Wonder Woman.
That's true. Matthew Sturgis coming in with a $24.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Matthew.
Yeah, thank you. And he says, Merry Christmas. No Wonder Woman for me. I'm much more excited about smaller scale stuff like Psycho Gorman and what Mr. H is working on. Thanks for the Christmas broadcast. Oh, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to Mr. H's movies as well. Actually, I've seen one of them. It's really good. And I look forward to seeing the other.
Yes, and we do appreciate all the super chats. We appreciate those who haven't been able to super chat, but you're just here and hitting a like and sharing. All those mean just as much as well. And we appreciate you guys all year round. And we love that you guys are enjoying the videos we're doing. We love that you guys are obviously enjoying the morning show. So we're going to keep that up. So thank you so much for everything you guys have done. It means a lot to us. And speaking of Tom Conkle, we got him coming on Monday. So
awesome. Yeah. I just want to answer one question really quickly from TOH786, who says, do you believe that the HBO Max strategy will succeed? I think it will. I think it's going to put them back in the game. Yep.
Even though we're not seeing a lot of people today necessarily jumping to watch Wonder Woman, I don't think Wonder Woman was going to be the movie to do that.
No.
I think it's going to be the Snyder Cut. I think it's going to be Dune. I think it's going to be Godzilla. I think it's going to be a couple of these other movies that they
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat got a lot of attention.
Mortal Kombat is going to be huge.
Yeah, I think HBO Max is trying to gear themselves as the testosterone streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I brought that up on I don't remember if it was our morning show or the other stream, but like AT&T don't seem to give a shit. They're koalas in the rain right now. They don't care about all this Hollywood propaganda bullshit. They just want to make money. Like, they're the only ones that are a prime example of when everybody says, but what about the money, Tom? Sooner or later, like, the rest of them, no, they don't care. They're doing their own thing. They don't care about the money. AT&T, on the other hand, they're not in this political crap. All they care about is the bottom line.
Yep. So, in fact, one of their mottos is, for every employee, right down to like their janitors and their custodians, is like, you're here because you want to make money. And that's what their goal and mandate is.
And as sad as it is, that's the lesser of two evils right now. I hate to say it. We should basically root for corporate shit like that.
Greed over ideology. I guess.
Exactly. Greed over ideology. Yes. I know that's sad, but it's true.
It is what it is. It is indeed what it is. And
hail Canadian Spider-Man and all the regulars we see in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we, of course, appreciate every single one of you out there as well. And I heard someone say, yeah, John Connors wonders, are any of you watching Pennyworth? If so, opinions on the new season?
No, I'm not. You, Andre?
I saw the.
No way in hell.
No.
It's another Batman show without Batman. Script, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a torrid history with that show because the year before Bruno Heller pitched it, I had pitched my own Pennyworth show, which I think was superior, and talks were in the works, and then Bruno decided to do his own, and because he is a bigger name than I am, he got his way, and I think you're getting a stylized and to a degree fun show, but lesser than what it could have really been overall, not just for the character, but for the franchise. So I saw the first few episodes, didn't really do anything for me personally. If you like it, I say support it because you don't get much stuff that out there that you can like, but I haven't checked it out since. I actually forgot that it got renewed, to be honest. So if it's got a second season and you're enjoying it, ride that wave, sir. Ride that wave.
Yeah. Mills has a question here. What's going to be the first major studio to make porn? If
first studio or first
Paramount.
major studio?
Major studio. I don't think anybody will in this climate now, but like if we were to live since we're headed towards a Demolition Man kind of future, or Idiocracy, but I think here's the thing with Idiocracy. Mike Judge did not predict the social media shift so much in that, but he did predict the stupidity aspect. But fucking Demolition Man got it dead on, and so have some other sci-fi things. But no, I think in this climate that's not going to happen. But if you were talking years ago, I would have said Fox, and they would have been the first to broadcast it.
Be the first to broadcast, yeah. I always joke that Paramount would be the first to do it because they've got Mount in their name. So,
oh shit. Otherwise, right now maybe Warner Brothers, but I doubt it. Nobody's in that. There's no money in it right now, or at least not in there.
None at all, because that's all free. That's all free streaming.
Yeah, porn is kind of a lost art. You got the guys like Axel Braun doing their thing, but outside of that, it's kind of dead. We'll never have like a Deep Throat again or anything like that. Which is actually, for those who don't know, that was a movie that actually competed with and made more money than a lot of Hollywood films did at that time. It was considered very serious when it came out. So,
well, you can still get that. If you get like some some stars to do what they did in the 70s and do like some unsimulated stuff, then you could get that again, but like something that
the closest they tried that with that Nympho film a few years back.
Well, yeah, there was that, but I was going to say probably otherwise the closest there would be like between that and like Eyes Wide Shut. That's probably the closest you'll ever get. But Nympho, and as far as I know, most of that is fake. It's simulated.
They said that. I'm not sure.
I'm not so sure either.
I'm not so sure.
They did a compositing trick there.
Well, there was that blue. What is it? Blue Bunny or something like that. That one weird movie made by that one.
Oh, I know what you're talking about with Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah, there is actual fellatio in that movie. So kind of, we already have gotten to that point where we've had it, but it's just gone past.
You've had it in the past.
Well, then also in that one movie with Amy Schumer when she's in with the wrestler guy, what's his name?
John Cena.
Yeah, I guess they actually had sex in that scene.
Really? I don't buy that.
I think he said it and she said it. I don't know. I think unless they were just saying it to goof around, but yeah.
Yeah, because he was engaged with his serious girlfriend at the time, and then they broke up years later after that film.
They may not have been together yet when they filmed it. I don't know. I have no idea. I just heard that unless they were just goofing around. But anyway, I suppose we should probably wrap this up. We've been going for 2 hours. Thank you so much, everybody. We will be back on Monday, and otherwise, I'm sure we'll be back sooner than that with a Star Trek review, unfortunately.
And WonderWoman,
probably.
And some regular editorial content will also be coming your way before long. And also regarding Wonder Woman 1984, just make the connection yourself. But Surfshark VPN type in midnight upon checkout.
Yes, thank you so much, and have.